Hey, what's going on, everybody? I hope you guys are okay and doing well. I am up and Adam, and it is late at night right now, but and I wanted to jump in and talk about something that I was reading about earlier, and people were asking me about it, so I figured I'd give my 2 cents on it. I hope you guys can hear me and see me okay. Forgive the mess that's in the back. That's the hotel that I was in. I was speaking this weekend. I did an investment seminar at the or in Philadelphia. It's a financial Juneteenth investing seminar, and we talked about stock and bond investing all day long, and it was really good. If you want to actually see the recordings of everything, you can actually go to drboycemasterclass.com. That's drboycemasterclass.com. I'm almost embarrassed by the fact that I have this stuff behind me. Like you guys get to see how messy I am in my hotel room. And so I hope you're not going to make fun of me for being a big slob. But then again, though, I guess to go ahead and come out the closet, I'm a sloppy Negro. That's what I am. Well, I'm not a Negro. I'm a sloppy ass black man, though. That I will own. How you doing? Oh, thank you, Radar Radio. I appreciate the compliment. I appreciate you very much. Uh, Jaleesa and Christopher Lane, Larry Hurt, Doc. I just got done doing a little read. Oh yeah. Elevation. Allah says you're cool. Don't trip. You're traveling. Is well. Thank you. See, I need people in my life that understand me. Y'all understand me. That's why I love y'all. Thank you very much. All right. So let me get this cracking. Sorry. I want to say welcome to drboystv.com, the home for intelligent black people. Some of you are watching from the Black Financial Channel. If you're interested in finances on a daily basis, financial news and information and just commentary, mostly done by me. Feel free to visit theblackfinancialchannel.com. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. You can also get some financial literacy training at the level that exceeds any university for probably less than the cost of a Happy Meal by going to the Black Business School. This is our university created for us, by us, to solve problems that affect us. That's why we exist. That's why I quit my job at Syracuse University, is because I wanted to teach my own people, and that's what we do in the Black Business School. All right, so let's jump in here and talk about this. Larry Hurt. No, I have not read the book Brainwashed, but it sounds interesting. So a lot of you have heard. Tell me yes or no. Who has heard about the Amazon opportunity? Opportunity. I got to use air quotes now. The Amazon opportunity. Where they said that they'll pay you $10,000 to start your own business and stuff like that. Okay, a lot of you, yeah, okay. I see Mikhail has seen it beta way. You told us, yeah. And I did report it on this channel. And as a person who did report it on this channel, I have the obligation to report what I've been reading, as well as I've been researching it to find out. You have what they say it is, and then you have what it really is. And it turns out that it is that what they say it is maybe isn't quite exactly like what it actually is. Now, the thing about it is, there are a few things that I'll lay out for you as facts and information that you can do with as you wish. I don't believe that Amazon became a successful company uh, by either A, only doing things for other people, not doing things for themselves. Corporate animals, corporations are going to take care of themselves, or B, creating opportunities that are just so ridiculous and crazy that nobody in their right mind would take them. I don't think that this opportunity, just to give you sort of a preview of my conclusion, I don't get the feel that Amazon is just sort of saying, okay, we're going to take advantage of all the stupid people. We're going to screw them over. So because you have people that will say, oh, it's a scam, it's a scam, it's definitely a scam. Um, well, I can say for a fact, for sure, that I've worked in situations that elevated my career quite a bit that people considered to be scamish at the time. The way I got started actually is I went and worked at AOL Black Voices, and they gave me access to their website, but they didn't pay me a penny. And people say, well, you have a PhD in finance. I was the only African American in the world to get a PhD in finance when I got it, so that's pretty rare space, right? Pretty, big money thrown at you, for your expertise. But the thing is, so they were saying you should be getting paid. It's a scam. You're being screwed. They're screwing you because they're not paying you. But actually, as Elevation Allah says, I felt like that was a boss move because I got access to a multi-million dollar platform for free. I didn't have to pay a penny for advertising. So in my mind, I said, y'all think y'all using me? Well, keep on thinking you're using me because I'm using y'all and we using each other. And that's how business works. That's how politics works. And that's what they call Dr. Anderson on Powernomics Thursdays. He talks about quid pro quo. Something for something. I give you a little something, you give me a little something. Ain't nobody got to be scammed. It's an exchange between two consenting adults. So we about to make some economic love, and both of us gonna have a good orgasm when by the time it's done. We both gonna love. We gonna both have a real good time together because you gonna get something great out of me. I mean, I gave them something that's special when I wrote for them. I wrote some of the best articles they had. I was getting the most traffic, and they loved me for it. And they were like, "Yes, we're getting all this, and we ain't got to pay them." And I was getting exposure, free exposure to the world, man. Free exposure, so sometimes you got to use your hustle energy to dig a little deeper and find the gold that's right beneath your feet, and a lot of my friends didn't see it. A lot of my PhD friends didn't see it. So you having an education don't mean that you still can't be a fool or that you still can't be blind. Being smart does not give you sight. Being smart means that maybe you read a few books, but having an education does not mean that you still can't be an educated fool. So and then again, though, maybe they weren't fools. Maybe I just got lucky. Maybe I just saw something they didn't see. I don't know. But I know that you won't see something if you're not looking for it. But you will always see what you're looking for 99 times out of 100. So if you're looking at an opportunity and you're seeing it as a complete scam, or you're seeing it where somebody's getting over on you, or you in somebody else's pockets counting their money and what they're getting out of you, then there's a good chance you're going to miss out on what you're getting out of the deal. And maybe out of pride, you're going to walk away from that situation. Okay, I say that because a lot of times you go into partnerships. I've gone to so many partnerships where the partner was making this much and I was getting that much. And so every day I had a choice. Do I count my blessings or do I count somebody else's blessings? Well, if I'm counting his blessings, I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be like, shit, look at how much he's making off of me. He's making all of this and all of that, blah, 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 blah. But then, to me, my approach is I count my blessings. I say, look at what I got. This is something I have that I'll lose if I end this relationship. Like for example, I've had people that I had a friend a long time ago who I used to let use my YouTube channel, and I let her use it for free, and she built her whole brand off of the channel. But then later on, she went back saying that nigga, that son of a bitch didn't pay me. I was on his channel. He never paid me to be on his channel. And I'm sitting there thinking, when I go on somebody's channel for free, that's a blessing to me. Like, I'm happy. Do you know how many times I've appeared on other people's platforms and not gotten a penny and been ecstatic because they're giving me exposure? Do you know how many times people have taken my videos off of my YouTube channel, and I knew they took my video off the channel and they put it on their channel and they got 500,000 views off that video, and I could have filed a copyright claim and said, y'all stole my shit. Give me my shit back. Blah, blah, blah. Take it down. But I didn't do that because I was happy to get the advertising. Do you understand? So I'm prefacing all this to let you know how I'm looking at this Amazon deal. I'm gonna give you the details and the facts, but I just wanted to let you know sort of what my point of view is, and you can agree with it or disagree with it. But I'm just giving you different ways to kind of look at these things. There's always ways to skin that cat, but you got to be thinking outside the box to get what you need. All right. So thank you, Stacey Doe, for the donation. I appreciate you making that donation. It will go into good hands and support the community. Thank you so much. Also, hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, please hit the thumbs up button, and let's get it cracking. All right, so here are a few things about the Amazon deal that that I picked up on during my research that you may want to consider if you are interested in working with Amazon on any capacity. Amazon is a pretty gangster company. Jeff Bezos is the richest man in the world. I believe he's the richest, and he's probably one of the smartest people around, smartest business minds I've ever seen. I admire that about him, although I don't know much about him ethically, so I'm not going to speak on that, but I can speak on business acumen. He's incredibly smart. And one of the things about Amazon, though, is that they're getting a bad reputation. They're getting a bad reputation in some circles for being difficult to work with. If you look online and you look at some of the reviews that people have written about working at Amazon, has anybody worked at Amazon? Anybody know anybody that's worked at Amazon? Tell me what they said. Yeah, feel free to share, because I'm thinking about my community. I'm thinking about my people when we're talking about ways to get off the plantation. If you know anybody who's worked at Amazon, you have a story to tell. Feel free to share that story, please. One of the things that is interesting about this opportunity, this $10,000 opportunity, apparently there's one major hurdle for Black folks is they expect you to have $30,000 in the bank. Now, yes or no? Yes or no? Do most of your Black friends have $30,000 in the bank? Yes or no? Give me a yes or no. Do most of your black friends have 30 grand sitting in the bank that they can apply toward their business? Right. So that right there is a problem. I hate that a lot. I feel like Amazon, that kind of pissed me off right there. I'm just sitting there like, man, what 30,000? Like, what are you talking about? And then on top of the 30,000, so yes or no? How many you got? How many have most of your black friends have 30,000? Okay, I haven't seen a yes yet. I think I might have saw one yes. All right. Now the next requirement I saw is that you have to have good credit. Okay. So yes or no? How many of you have would agree that most of your black friends have credit challenges? Not that you don't have a black friend that has AAA credit. We all got that one or two friends. We all got a few friends that got great credit. But how many of you would say that most of your friends, just have some credit issues? I went to college, got me a credit card, and lost my damn mind. Ain't recovered since. Or went to college, went deep in debt. Student loans got kind of heavy, so I had to make a choice: do I pay my loans or do I eat? I chose to eat, right? Or when I was a kid, my mama put the house note or put the utility bill in the baby's name, and I was the baby, so I had this utility bill in my name, and I didn't know about it till I was 18. Just some of those, some would call them black people problems, but I'm sure poor white trash. I'm sure poor white people have lots of problems that we would never identify with. So let's not even make it a racial thing. It's just a thing. It's not even a bad thing all the time. People have to survive. How are they going to survive? And it is what it is. So the fact that they require you to have great credit and 30,000 in the bank, that kind of kills a lot of black folks. But you know what? Sometimes being blocked from your blessing, which being blocked from what you think is a blessing is actually a block that's protecting you from a curse. One of the things about the Amazon opportunity, another thing that I picked up on that I think made me really question it, literally got me to the point where I was thinking, I don't know if I do this, is they want the drivers to not have any experience. They're looking for inexperienced drivers, to run these delivery service companies. They were talking about 20 to 30 trucks and hiring, 70 to 100 people and having all these people on your team that are your drivers. And I'm like, wow, that's quite a lot that you're asking for from people who've never run a business before. Good Lord. That's a lot of employees to look after. And the one speculation is that the reason that Amazon is looking for drivers that have no experience is because they the experienced drivers aren't falling for the bullshit. The companies that know the industry, the companies that have worked with Amazon that are a little annoyed with Amazon, they're just like, no, we don't want this deal. This is not a good deal. And some would say that they're taking advantage of the naivete of new entrepreneurs to get them jumping on something where they're expecting to kind of cycle through entrepreneurs anyway. They're kind of thinking like, well, once people kind of realize how tough it is, a lot of people are going to fade out or whatever. And also because a lot of seasoned drivers, from what I understand, do not want to work with Amazon as much. They are having trouble finding enough drivers to deliver all their products. So they've got these big ambitions as a company. Amazon's always expanding. One thing I love about the company actually is the fact that they're doing all these interesting things like trying to go to the moon and all that stuff. And I think that that's wonderful. But in the midst of their expansion, it's almost like they're in the scenario where they don't have enough manpower to get it done. Manpower meaning women and men, right? They don't have enough people that are help them to get the job done because necessarily known for doing right by their people. Now, if that's true or not true all the time, I don't know. I mean, it is a country. There are places you can work other than Amazon. There are things you could do outside of Amazon. So let's not assume that, we don't have the right to even go work for a different place or that there's not a reason why some people stay there and they love it. Right. There are employees that love working at Amazon, but I'm sure there are quite a few who don't. So the fact that the professionals don't want to do it would make me skeptical. It would make me kind of it would make me kind of hesitant, make me kind of say, well, like, well, why don't the people that really know about it, why don't they want to do it? There's a whole theory about that in finance. Actually, I think they call it the lemon theory, and it kind of says, well, if he don't want to do it, then why should I want to do it? Because if he knows more than I do, and he don't want to do it, then I shouldn't want to do it because I'm looking at him, right? Sometimes you can learn a lot about a situation by looking at other people's actions. Hit that thumbs up button, please. Hit the thumbs up button. Somebody said I look tired. Yeah, well, it's because it's nighttime, so it's bedtime. But I'm gonna stay up a little bit. I just got through running 4 miles. I got to run this damn half marathon out in California in a couple of days. So I realized how behind I was. So I need to get my butt over there. The other thing that they mentioned was Amazon was projecting that companies could make, I think, between like 1.3 and 1.5 million a year, or $300,000 profit. And and I'll tell you, I saw this guy who had this YouTube channel called Franchise City, and he broke it down and basically said, when you break it down, the profit over the number of trucks that he speculated. I can't remember what the average number of trucks was, but he said that comes out to about $7,500 per truck in profit, right? And the thing about that is when you got all those trucks out there zipping around. First of all, $300,000 a year, honestly, in profit is not a tremendous amount of money. Like for an entrepreneur, it doesn't mean that it's not a decent amount of money. It is, but when you look at a business of that scale, if somebody told me they were managing 80 to 100 people and their profit was only 300K, I would kind of feel bad for them. I would feel bad for them because that's a lot of work to make that kind of money. 300K is a lot of money, but that's a lot of people to manage. But it's not just about a lot of people. It's a lot of shall I say, responsibility, a lot of liability. Liability is a son of a bitch. When you're an entrepreneur and you got people working for you, you have to be very careful about a lot of things. There's a lot of things you have to think about that you don't have to process as an employee. When I started hiring people, I couldn't, my business brain couldn't turn off. It was always on. It's like having a child that's like in your house. It's literally connected to you, with you everywhere. So being a business owner is really like being a mom or a parent. Like I say a mom because moms are the ones who are most likely to be super connected to the kids. Dads, we're there, but we're not. We have a different kind of bond with the children. It doesn't mean we're not there. We're just there in a different way. Moms will just literally just take their kids everywhere. Kids just be attached to the hip. And so it's like a business is like being a mom, in my opinion. What do you think about Tesla? I'll talk about Tesla later. Tesla's in trouble. Their stock price is dropping. I own Tesla stock, so I'm pissed. But then again, all my stocks have been getting killed this week. So it's kind of that kind of week. But that's how investing is, That's investing. It's like love. Remember when New Edition said, sunny days, everybody loves them. But tell me, baby, can you stand the rain? That's the question. When it comes to investing, can you stand the rain? It's gonna rain. This week it was a tornado. This week it was pretty bad. It may be bad next week. This trade war may last for a while, but historically, history says riding it out is the best long-term strategy. But there have been times where the markets had long dips. So don't think that it's going to recover next week just because it had a bad week. Anything can happen. So the thing about those margins of $7,500 per truck, you think about all the things that can go wrong. Things break down. You have accidents, you run somebody over, it really sets your business back. And the thing about it is that in litigation in America is a scary thing because people can sue you for almost anything. And then when they sue you, they can put any number they want on the lawsuit. And you never know if you're going to run into a crazy judge or whatever, so literally somebody will like I had somebody that tried to sue me because I said something bad about them on the internet, and it was literally one comment, and they literally claimed that I took $5 million out of their pocket because I said something bad about them. Like, and the person was broke as hell. The person wasn't even making no money, and they were saying that, or they were making like very little money, but they were literally saying, I missed $5 million worth of opportunities because you said something bad about me. Like people can do that. Fortunately, the judge was smart enough to be like, okay, this is BS. But you never know what you're going to get when it comes to court. So when you're running a business, those are some of the things you got to deal with. And the thing about the Amazon business to me is that You're not really so much a partner with Amazon to me, in the sense that a partnership would be a little clearer in terms of each side carrying a certain amount of weight and each side getting a certain amount of profitability and opportunity. With those trucks, from what I understand, Amazon wants you to use their trucks. They don't want you to own your own trucks. So those are their trucks. Now, on one hand, they're giving you a truck, but on the other hand, you got to pay a lease to Amazon to lease that truck. So it's not your truck, right? And the other thing is, they kind of want you to carry a lot of the burden of paying the people and dealing with all the complexities that come with running a business. But the question is, what do you actually own? Okay, so they're telling you to start this delivery service company, but the problem is you've got one gigantic client. Your one big client is Amazon. And if Amazon just says, screw you, we don't like you anymore, you're done. Like your whole, everything you put all this time, split blood, sweat, and tears into over the years, is gone, right? Because there aren't many other companies you can run to that are going to give you the level of business that you need to justify the deep dive that Amazon convinced you to make. So so my thought is always, this is what in business they call that a stress test. A stress test is when you say you take the worst case scenarios and you play them out in your head and you see like what would that look like, right? And so when I do the stress test on Amazon, my biggest concern would be if they left you, you'd be done, you'd be asked out. And so I don't really know if Amazon set this opportunity up to really empower people. I think that the tremendous liability, and also remember this, don't forget this: Amazon's a cutting edge technology company. Don't you think that when driverless cars are allowed on the road, that Amazon won't be the first company jumping on top of that shit? I mean, these companies are tech companies at the core. Amazon and Uber, they are dying to get rid of the human factor in all of this shit. The only humans they want is the human beings that are paying money. They don't want the humans that they got to pay money to because they're expensive and they complain and they do horrible shit. Some of them, not all of them, right? But you have stories about some guy in an Uber who raped the passenger. Like what the hell, man? But seriously, like with the drones and the driverless cars, by human. Because the thing is, the Amazon drivers, if you look at some of the reviews, a lot of the drivers complain about having to keep a bottle in the truck so they can pee in the bottle because they don't even have time to go to the bathroom. And so so ultimately, I think that humans are tired of Amazon and Amazon is tired of humans. That's what I believe. And it's kind of an unfortunate world for black people because we love to sell our human capital. We love to sell our labor. We're not big as a community yet on entrepreneurship. Either we don't want to do it or we don't do it very well. And we got to accelerate that. We must fix that soon. If you want your family to survive, you must teach them to be entrepreneurs and teach them about technology. Because people who don't know those things, people going into this racist economy as black unskilled labor, they gonna get their ass kicked. They getting their ass kicked now. They was getting their ass kicked 20 years ago, and they're gonna get a triple ass kicking when we hit the what they call the singularity, when the artificial intelligence is like better than anything else. Like the artificial intelligence is smarter than the humans. We're not too far from that day. And even before that day, they're going to start doing things that don't require the human element because they're sick of complaining workers. They don't want to hear that shit. So if you want to get my final verdict, would I take the position at Amazon? Would I take the 10 grand and go start the business? Probably not. If I'm gonna go, I'm thinking about this. They want you to have 30 grand in the bank. Okay, well, if you got 30 grand in the bank, there's a lot of other businesses you could start that are a lot less of a pain in the ass and have higher profit margins than that. My homeboy Lamar Tyler, who runs blackandmarriedwithkids.com, he quit his job. Him and his wife were making six figures, but they never saw their children and they hated it. And they were driving in DC traffic for 3-4 hours a day. So they had this high income, but this horrible lifestyle. So they went and they took a couple of classes on how to do digital marketing and digital sales. And the classes were expensive. They cost like $5,000 or $10,000, which most people wouldn't pay. But shit, I mean, if you're sitting on 80 grand in college loan debt, what did you take all that debt on for? The only reason that you took on, the only reason you were willing to pay 80,000 or 100,000 to this university to get that degree is because they paid you in advance. They took care of the expense for you, which really there was no expense. It didn't cost them hardly anything to educate you. It was a paper expense, but then they got to charge you for something that you didn't actually, what it didn't actually cost them. There's no cost of materials, or if there's a minimal cost of materials relative to adding another student to your university. Like if I'm a professor, and I've been a professor for 25 years, I've taught at 6 different universities. If I'm a professor and I'm teaching 40 kids, it's no extra work for me to teach 42. But for the university, each additional child that's in my class is an extra over 4 years, an extra, $150,000, right, in student loan debt that they can pile on the back of that young person just for the right to sit in my class, right? So what I'm saying to you at the end of the day is, we'll go, I don't agree with the fact that we will spend 10, 20, or not 10, sorry, 50, 80, $100,000 going to college. We don't think of it as an expenditure because it's a big credit card, because all you got to do is sign the dotted line, but then you spend the rest of your life paying for it. I don't agree that we'll spend $100,000 for that, but then not pay $5,000 or $10,000 to really learn how to make money from people who know how to make money. I'm gonna tell you the truth. With the Black Business School, I think that we keep our costs low because that's just what we kind of do. We're not into doing what some of these online gurus do. Like they really charge us absolute highest amount that they possibly can. So they'll charge in the thousands. And I used to think that was bad. I used to say, oh, that's bad. They're scamming people. But actually, now that I think about it, um, it's not really a scam if the person helps you figure out how to do what you got to do. If a person saves you 3 years of work, 3 years of trial and error where you're going to do it wrong, and you go out and you make an extra, all investing is making sure that you get out more than you put in. If you get out more than you put in, then it was a good investment. All right, so yeah, definitely hit the like button and share button. Please do that. Thank you, Elevation Ally. Hit the like button and share button. Also, don't forget my new book, Black American Money 3, is actually out. So if you want to go take a look, you can go to Black American Money 3, the number 3.com, blackamericanmoney3.com. Or you can also just look at all the books. Claude Anderson has books on our platform as well, Powernomics, stuff like that. You can go to drboycebooks.com. That's drboycebooks.com. Yeah, I had fun in Philadelphia. We did a master class on investing. Everybody loved it. All the reviews were extraordinarily good. And we're going to do it in Chicago next. So Chicago is the next city we're going to go to. So if you live in the Chi, keep your ears out. We're going to do this again. If you want to see the recording where I'm doing the digital version of these lectures, you can actually join us at drboycemasterclass.com. We meet Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. So drboycemasterclass.com. So feel free to go check that out. All right. I plan to purchase 5 Tesla stocks when plunges below 200. I thought it was below 200, but maybe I got that wrong. Anyway, I'm gonna go to bed. So come to the Bay. I'll come to the Bay at some point. I don't really, honestly, I don't like traveling so much. I'm gonna do a couple of trips this year. And the All Black National Convention is September 27th, the weekend of September 27th. So if you want to learn more about that, I'll tell you guys about it. But definitely, it's gonna be in Houston, so that's gonna be pretty awesome. So if you want to network with great Black people, come to the All Black National Convention. All right, let me see. I'm looking at a couple of your questions. Sweet dreams. When you going to bed, talk about the school. You going to bed, talk about the school. Which school? I don't know which school you're referring to. Let me see. Do I think we're going to war? Yes, I do. I think Trump. I mean, I'm just surprised Trump ain't gone to war yet. Trump just seems like a guy who just wants to like show off the military, and I think it's kind of stinks that he thinks that way. But it is what it is. I've kind of known a little bit about Trump for a very long time, and he's always been kind of a bastard. But he's become a bigger bastard since he got into politics because politics makes people divisive and they hate you more than they ever did before. But he was always hateable. But he wasn't as hateable as he is now. Let me see here. Yeah, this week I saw there's these little girls called the Royal Mix in Philadelphia. It's a little girls group, and I love these little. They're so good. They remind me of TLC, my other favorite girls group of all time. They would be willing to pay $2,000 per share. I think that he has 2 shares, so they would pay him $4,000 to quit his job. Okay, I warned him against this, but our people are so short-sighted. Okay, I don't know the whole story behind that. Sorry. Workers stop working the system. Stops like blood in your body. I agree. Um, let's see here. Can try pitch competitions for seed funding. I did one that worked for me, but then your ideas are made public. Trade-offs. Yeah, well, at the master class that we did in Philadelphia, one thing we're going to do with that group is we're going to invite them to create an investment club. So I think that one contribution I can make in terms of helping us pool our resources is to start. Maybe the same way Malcolm X will open up mosques in different cities. So maybe what I can do is open up investment clubs in different cities and get the people in those cities to come together for investment club meetings. Maybe that's the least I can help try to do. All right. Yeah, war equals negative effect on the stock market. Absolutely. War is uncertainty and risk, and war is scary. Anytime any people get scared or uncertain or feel risky or feel that risk is in the air, you see stock prices go down. So, and by the way, if you want to learn more about the stock market, I do have a great stock market class. It's theblackstockmarketprogram.com. theblackstockmarketprogram.com. All right, I'm going to bed. So you guys have a good night, and I shall see you soon. Peace. Dr. Boyce, what do you think about